the garden. Today I'm preparing a potted plant as a gift. We'll be using this bright colored container we found at a thrift store and some chives from out in the garden. The first thing I want to do is just clean up our container, especially these water stains. Those can really build up around the basin, in the bottom of the pot, and sometimes around the rim. So I'm just going to drench it, and we can let that basin soak for a little bit. Get rid of any stickers and try and scrape away that gunk. I think this cleaned up really nicely. This is a glazed porcelain pot, but it looks like plastic. It's just amazing. Those colors are so vivid. But because this is glazed porcelain, it doesn't have the best drainage. And neither does the native soil that our chives are growing in. So I'm going to make sure about half of the container is potting soil. This is almost 100% organic material, whether it's peat moss or coconut fiber, or in this case, composted tree bark. But it's really going to improve the drainage over our native soil. I want to pick the right sized plant for this container. This one in the middle is just way too large. These are almost like green onions. They're just so big. But look at this one over here. Much smaller growth, much more typical of what you'd see from store-bought chives. And these are going to be much better for garnishes, and I think they'll look nicer in the container. And we'll try and keep this entire cluster intact. There we go. You can see all those little white roots. We could even divide these and pull them apart, all the way down into individual bulbs if you want. Let's just pluck one off here. This is its own separate plant with its own separate set of roots. And I've planted these out individually like this, and over time they fill in into their own giant clusters. That's exactly what this used to be, is a single little transplant, just like that. You can already see this one's starting to divide. So let's see how this looks by itself. That actually looks pretty good. We could maybe even divide this singular plant into two little plants. It looks like we got a strawberry hitchhiker on this one, so we'll try and get rid of that. Although, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think we'll keep that as a little bonus. But I do want to remove a little bit of this soil. It's okay to have a little bit of native soil. As long as you're growing these outdoors, it's going to be just fine, because there's insects and things in the soil here. Let's try to divide this a little bit. I'm just going to try and find a natural break and just spread it out. We don't even have to pull these apart completely. Look how that'll fill in. So we'll just clean these up a little bit, get rid of some of that native soil just to improve the drainage in the container. And now these are all ready to plant out. Now we'll start off with some of our potting soil. Right around halfway. Then we can add our chives. I'm also going to add a couple more in the front here with our little strawberry. And then we'll just backfill with some potting soil right over those roots. Give it a little shake. I think that looks pretty nice. We can snug these in a little bit, try to get them upright, and then when we water them in, they should stay put. Now we can fill in these gaps with plants that were kind of swaying outside of the main row. These often drop seeds and the seedlings come up like crazy. So I have all these little volunteer plants that we can use to fill in the gaps. And we can use the soil that we brushed off of the roots just to backfill a little bit. And I think this is going to make a beautiful gift. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.